Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2, where last episode we implemented this beautiful ferry crossing, which my game almost died a death right there, into the region. It now transports people from the downtown Redwood area all the way over to our beautiful Beechwood area. Now, I built these two little harbours, which they also double up as a nice little transit hub as well, as we've got the bus terminal in. And it allows people to now go back and forth. Now, I implemented in the last episode. It was a way to kind of test the waters, haha, pun intended, guys, pun intended, to make me understand how this little mod actually works. Now, since last episode, the game has updated and we've now got like some keys and roads and stuff like that. I know if I go to my path right now, I can go, where's my path? Hold on. I got these like beach wooden things. Seniac knows everything about this brand new update, doesn't he, guys? Oh, he's a wealth of knowledge, which we'll be checking out today. But this is a little bit of a dry run because it allows me now to kind of figure out more kind of crossings. I mean, Woodville is surrounded by water, so it kind of makes sense to utilize the water a bit more than what we're doing right now. And I've got some really, really good ideas. Now, before we get into it, we do have a few little issues. We've got a bit of traffic over here. Oh my goodness, I've never seen traffic over here before. That's interesting, and I think we've got some over here as well on this junction. So we got to kind of solve those. I'll quickly pause right now, and we do have a big garbage issue over here at the same time. So welcome back. If you are enjoying the series, smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do before we fix that traffic. I want to create a small little river crossing between Derby and Piper Mills. I want to actually fill this area around going up here. I want to create a side park on the edge. I don't want to fill all this with like building stuff. And then where the side park then ends, we're going to do another little kind of ferry crossing that allows us to go from here to Piper Mills on this side. And then what I want to do is implement another one in Upper Redwood. That's what we should have named it, Upper Redwood. And one in Redwood Port. Now, the reason for that is I can then chop and change and create a couple of little ferry routes going to all different directions from all places. And then we have this whole river crossing kind of transport network, which I really, really like the idea of. So we'll get onto that in just a minute. Let's see if we can solve these traffic issues. Now, since last episode, if you've been watching my streams lately, I've been doing them every Tuesday, 6 p.m. UK time. I have been building a brand new city on City Skylines 2, and I got the mod, which now allows me to sort out lane connector stuff. You can't do it on roundabouts, though. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to bulk up the roads a little bit, and maybe figure out some more lane connectability, which would hopefully help us out. So I'm going to allow 2 lanes to pump in there. Kind of make that go a little bit further. I'm going to turn off traffic lights. And if I can remember how to use the lane connector tool, right, this should be good. So remove all the U-turns and all that stuff. And I'm going to make this pretty much hard-coded to this is what you've got to do. So if you're driving down, you can only make that turn there. Sweet. If you're going this way, the only turn you can make, actually, to go straight on, that sounds reasonable. I just don't want you to go that way. That is dedicated that turn. So for this way, that goes in all directions. Maybe I should have bulked them up for a few more lanes. This direction, that's pretty much standard. I think that's as much as we're going to get it. I don't think there's anything unordinary there. So that will now slightly change some stuff. So vehicles have to figure out what lane they're going to be in, but they're less likely to do them awkward turns. So now we've got some dedicated turns. We'll see how that plays out. But we have the same issue then down here. Now, I reckon we slightly bulk this up as well. So this is all highway road. So we're going to go for the 4-lane highway. If I go to upgrade and then drop you there. So it's mainly vehicles. Or do I just do the asymmetrical road? I think the asymmetrical road is probably all we're going to need. So going in that direction. Oh, I've done it too far on this side, haven't I? Whoopsie. I did an upsie. Right, there we go. There we go. I don't know if that was the normal road anyway. And let me do the lane connecting stuff here then. So remove all U-turns, remove all unsafe turns, even though none of them really changed anyway. I'll give the dedicated right turn there. That is just straight over. Coming from this way, pretty much, okay, nowhere else is as it is, but it gives them the ability to allow 2 vehicles to enter the junction coming from that direction. I don't know if that's going to be the right thing to do or not, but like I said, it gives us 2 options. Now, I'll see how it plays out. We'll see. But now we've got this dedicated turn, which should allow the traffic to continue to keep flowing. So you could argue this stuff is not going to make any difference without building proper junctions. And then we'll do the same here then. So I think we need, with the highway, a symmetrical road leading into this place. So if I did that like that, and I think the lane connector thing is going to do it for me anyway. Yeah, you got your dedicated turn right and left. And all it is mainly allowing me to do is allow 2 vehicles to join the junction, whereas before it was 1. So you could argue we're getting vehicles through twice as quick if it was 50-50 in both directions. Right, allow them to now settle down, do what they've got to do. Hopefully we see more vehicles flowing. I'm not too confident on this junction here, whether we should have maybe stuck it to a roundabout or whatnot. But, I mean, there's a lot of vehicle traffic coming in. It's not backlogged. They're just taking their time. That poor taxi there that can't pull out. Right, anyway, let's get back into it. So, I want to take a look then. Oh, hang on, we got this garbage issue as well. Now, why have we got such a big garbage issue over here when we got this? Is it because all my garbage stuff is set up for designated areas? That could be actually the case. I'm going to drop now a... Oh, do I go incinerator? Because, you know, it's out of the way of the pollution. Is an incinerator a little bit too... How do I put this? Over the top? Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it? I'm going to drop an incinerator here. Now, we'll allow this incinerator to kind of be for everywhere. And then we'll see what happens. So let me build my little perimeter road going around now. As I like to do. Right, annoyingly... It's spaced out a bit funky, but that would do. That will do. It does also produce power as well. So if I went underground now, boys, and hook this up and get rid of the anarchy now at this point to the power line. So if I go this way and connect, that's now connected to the power line. So that can now do stuff. So hopefully that picks up the garbage. It's not designated for a certain area, so that might solve some issues. Okay, right. Has the traffic over here settled down? It has. Has the traffic over here settled down? Not yet, but there is a lot of traffic that's got to filter through. I can maybe do like a little bit of a slingshot road here, but it's only going to push more traffic elsewhere. So I'm just going to say it's a little bit of a freak incident right now because we've got a lot of people moving in. Maybe, who knows? Let's just ignore it for a while. Okay, so these river crossings then. Now, from this, we also had another variant of it. We had the one that we've been using right now, which is we've got the transport pier here. Is that what we had previously? Or is this a new one? Wait, what is this? Is this new? Transport pier? That's got to be new, right? Because I was utilizing the small... Oh, that's a seaway. The boat's depot. Cargo harbour. Cargo quay. These are all new things. Right, where's my modded stuff? Harbour. Is this it? That's a cargo ship stop. That's not what I had. Hold on, where is this? This is the Breakwater Ferry Pier. Has this stuff now disappeared on me? Passenger ship stop. Boats depot. Right, where has my modded stuff gone? Where's my modded stuff gone right now? It's not all been locked away, has it? And we've got to, like, you know, eventually unlock it. No, that stuff is there. Ferry selector. There is an upgrade we can do here. Right, this is throwing me off right now because I don't have what I had last time. I don't have it. Now, is it to do with this, is the question. I don't know whether this has changed, but we'll probably end up using that instead. And what was the other one? Sorry, we had the... Right, hold on. Let me go figure out what's happened. I'm suspecting the mod has broken since the update. Right, I've just checked the mod. Turns out the mod did get updated with this new stuff, and you're now building with this. This pier no longer exists. So all I'm going to say is, guys, it was nice while it lasted. I can't delete this because I can't get it back in ever again. But I think you now make your own variations of building these, which is going to be quite interesting. So let's try it over here then. We're going to start between Derby and Piper Mills. Now, I want to set up a nice little river crossing that's going back and forth. So they haven't got to do anything else. Nice and simple. And I think we'll go from around about here, because you've also got to look at the other forms of public transport. There's bus stops either side there, so it's a nice little walk down. And then coming to over here, we've got bus stops just there, so I'm either placing it around this area as well. So this new style then, which is now completely and utterly thrown me off, I can build this going straight, right, and drop it there. So I've got this beautiful little looking pier right now, which is going slightly downhill to the water, which makes sense because there's going to be boats. So how do I then connect said boat? I'm assuming it's now I do the integrated pass. Oh, okay, it's already got one there. So I think the boat will stop like directly here, wouldn't it? If I'm not mistaken. And then on this side, where was the bus stop again? The bus stop's over there. So I can either make it come directly off this or... Oh, actually, I can make it come off this one here because it's a short walk down there. Maybe I could kind of integrate it a little bit better. Or I'll just come directly off this. Or I'll just come off directly off there. Or, scrap all that. We come directly off this road here. There we go. Now, looking at how that... Oh, that's kind of cool. Look how that's connected with the fence to the road. It makes me realise I'm maybe not as far back as I would have liked to have been. So if I go there instead and bring this out. Aha! That's better. Do you know what? I actually kind of like these. I do actually kind of like these right now. So if I'm to build the waterway, the very small seaway, how does this work? Because I don't have the stop there, so I'm just going to assume if I came off like that, does that connect to that? Like, how does this now work? No one's told me how this is meant to work right now. Narrow seaway, that's way too big. I'm assuming it will kind of connect itself. So if I just kind of went like this. Okay, that's too close. You can't snap to it. So I'm going to go as close as I can. I'm going to assume that's all I need to do. And I'll do the same thing here. Right. Now, without doing a nice little wiggle, let me just kind of go back and forth here like that. And see if I can integrate passenger ship boat line. So from there... Okay, it does work. Oh, that's... Okay, that's... confusing, but very, very easy at the same time. Very, very easy. So we've got that to there, which is great. We just need to do a nice little wiggle. That's all we need to do. But also, I want it to eventually connect down to here. So what would be the best way to implement something like this then? I reckon we just come directly off it, right? Just come directly off it like that. And that would obviously come down eventually and continue. So you would want something as simplistic as this, wouldn't I? So the boat comes out, comes down, turn, but that doesn't feel like it makes much sense for this section. So I'm going to delete all this, and I'm going to see if I can create a little back and forth loopity-loop. Okay? That's what I'm going to try and see if I can do. So run this down anyway. Make it pretty long. We'll go to there. Do the same thing here. That's too far back. No. to there. And then from this, we'll do a nice little bend going down. Bring it a little bit forward. Alright, nice little bend round there. And then we'll go bend this way. Right, there we go. Nice little back and forth there. So you also get like a little bit of sightseeing thrown in as well, if that's like, you know, the best way to put it. So a boat line will obviously go from here to here, and then it will have to go back around again. That's what it would have to do. Now, obviously, no boat can currently get to it. But let me just double check that it's only going to be one ship on there. Yes. Charge 12 big ones. And we'll do... Oh, we can actually now see what the boats look like. We'll do the open, medium, small closed ferry. We'll do a small closed ferry for something a little bit different compared to the other open one. Now, I won't be able to get a ship there until I connect it up to the main line. So we'll come back to this again and figure it all out. So that actually was fairly easy to do. It's not far from public transport with the walkable distance. Same thing over the hair between the two. Back and forth in a nice little fashion. That's pretty nice. I will take it. Right, I want to do one then that also goes from down here and then stops every so often. I also want to do a crossing that comes over to here, and then we'll create a few lines that come from everywhere else. Question though, do I turn this into a river here, make the road go over it on both sides, and then have a short crossing going through to get to work? Wow, the possibilities now are pretty much endless. Unless I extended this river here to cut through, and then I create a loop, picking people up and going round and round, as well as going back and forth. Let's just do my back and forths first. So I want to create one over here, around this area. Where do we have bus stops? We have one there. So if I came off this road... So if I come off that road, and then I pick another road, let's say this road here, and then in between, because I wanted a little bit of a park area. So which road am I picking again? Sorry, I'm picking... Or do I do this road? I might do... No, I'm going to do that road. I'm going to do this road. So we'll bring this road out going straight. And I'll bring it just to there. And then I'm going to pick this road here. Just to go to there. So all this here will be park area on the side. And then I'll probably do like another one. I might actually extend it a little bit further and have all of this park. And then just have the ferry pier in the middle. So I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to pick this spot there. So between that road and that road is all park area. We'll do walkability going through. And in the middle is the pier. So if I built this now. And let's say I came out to about there. So these are actually perfect then. So am I able, just out of curiosity, to also drop on? Oh, you can. But then how would I delete that? I don't quite know how I would then delete that, but I'm going to leave it there. But it's nice to know that I can place down my stops wherever I like. That's kind of cool, isn't it? So we'll do one there, and this one's going to travel from there up to here. Right, because obviously people work there. But also it will travel from there up to here. Unless I set up this little loop here doing all three. No, we need a back and forth. That can come into there. I could also have another one that goes that way. Unless these guys jump onto this to go into that direction. Vice versa, you know what I mean? Or I have this going back and forth there. And then we utilize the other loop to pick them up somewhere else. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It is a tricky one. But I wanted that there because there's a lot of jobs over in this area as well. And we do have the train station just here. I have bus stops just there as well. So having something coming off around this area wouldn't be such a bad idea. But the question is where, though? I could do it right here on the bridge. I could do it just there, and it's a short walk going up, or I can kind of cut across. There is a car park there as well, which is also beneficial. So I think I'm going to pick here. So bring that out. Just to there. Oh, could we bend it? Because I was on the bendy tool then, wasn't I? Yeah. And let me just now do some walkability stuff. We'll just kind of cut across to like that. Make it a little bit easier to access. So back and forth there is pretty good. But I also want another one here. So maybe the back and forth there and there would be good. Unless I kind of do zigzag it all going all the way up. That could also be a possibility. But then if I'm kind of cutting through there, I can do an outer loop and I can do an inner loop, but then the two loops will not connect. I also want to do hop in this way. Bam, 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 bam. See, that could also work as well. That literally could also work as well. Right, we're going to do them all at once. We'll do them all at once. Now, where's the bus stop over here? So it's just there. So we could come off just here for a little bit of a stop. Yeah, because we've got the walkability there anyway. We'll come directly off this. And I'm trying to get it. If I come directly off that, oh, you get the whole section there, don't you? Oh, that's kind of cool then. So if you do it against the road, like directly on it flush, it doesn't create that small little kind of thingy. It creates a nice little crossing, and it all goes flush with it. That's actually pretty cool. What I'm going to do then is I'm also going to implement a path going down the side here. Just to connect up to that path there for more walkability to this area. Right. So we've got one there, there, and there. I'm going to implement one over here. Now, where's public transport around here? It goes up to there. So in theory, you would maybe, you want it on the other side of the bridge. So you've got the crossing happening there. You've got nothing really going on here. So I'm going to run that down there. And that walks directly to there. So you can hop onto a bus to kind of, get to where you need to get to. But the main point then is having I'm going to bring it quite short. But the main strip of it is then all there. Oh, this is going to be good. So for this coming down here, it would have to kind of turn, which is fine. But it gives us the closest opportunity to get to the transport station, or the bus station, sorry, to transport to where they need to get to. Now, there's a couple of stops there thrown in, which is great. And then I've got to figure out the best way to do it. So 100% going to have one that goes back and forth here. Do I have a dedicated one going there to there? I could do a triangle route there. And then one going that way. Is that too many ferries then at that point? One going back and forth up to here. We've got that one crossing there. And if I did turn that into a river run there, we can go back and forth. I don't know on this. It's a bit of a tricky one. I don't know the best way to go about it. So let me now just get in the small seaways. So we'll have to have you connect into there. We'll be having... Right, we have to anarchy all of this in. You... Let me turn the snapping off. You to there. You to there. And then this one. Just run that all the way down. So they all connect like that, pretty simple, pretty easy. I'll then put the snapping back on, and then we'll come off this way, and then bring that in to there. So that all connects up there. So we should see the boat spawn from out of the region and make its way over. And let's create then a new line. So boat line then. We'll come off this one here. So I could actually, in theory, add more stops to it now, couldn't I? And then we'll go down this way and have a stop just there. It will then come up this way. So this will be a pretty long one, which I might only just keep it as this one. And then what I'll do is I'll make it cross over. So it does both before heading back up to here. Coming back to here. And back to there. But I don't think the game likes it when you try and do stuff like this. Because you can't do too many stops going back on the same loop. Unless it was a separate stop either side. So if I scrapped all that off and added an additional stop. So if I put one here and let's say one there. And I did the same on this one. One here, one there. Oh, hold on. They're in the water. Oh no. How do I delete one? Honestly, I don't know how I'm deleting it. I can't right-click it. So I don't know how I'm deleting it. Okay, that's a +10. +5. That's too far back, isn't it? How is that one okay, but these are not? It's because the ground's shifting so dramatically, isn't it? Right, there. I've placed down way too many at this point, haven't I? I've placed down way too many, which means this side's going to be off as well. Right, okay, so that would mean deleting you, and then placing these down. Oh, hello. One there. One there like that, which I've kind of now slightly oofed. The cargo ship, it no longer knows what it's trying to do. I've made it do a U-turn. No. Right. I'm hoping they're close enough to the side where that now technically makes sense. So... Alright, boat line. Boat line, boys. There. To there. Okay, it does work. So we'll go to there. Which one do I choose? We'll go to there. All the way up. To then get pathfinding failed. It's not over enough. Okay, so then we'll go to there. Okay, we'll re-add that. Oh, hang on, I've got to do the same issue here as well. Okay, one there. To end the route. Let me pause. That's going to probably add a lot of boats to it. 4. I would say 6. Okay. Because of the distance they have to travel. And I'll go for a medium ferry for a change. Let me now... I've got to... It's this one over here I've got to now sort out. It's technically not close enough. So on the line, when it comes back down, it's now able to get in. That one uses the same stop. I probably need to do the same to this then as well, wouldn't I? How's that? Oh, it's too far back. Oh, God. If anyone knows how to get rid of them, please, please let me know. Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. You have to laugh, boys. You have to laugh. Right, delete that. And then down that side. That side, and then just readjust these. There we go. Right, perfection. Absolute perfection. Right, I don't know if the boat... I might actually... Oh, no, the boat's already there. So, are you picking anybody up yet? You got 5 people on board right now. There is actual people waiting. Which is pretty cool to see. That's pretty cool to see, isn't it? And there's going to be people now getting off. So fast forward. Off they get. They'll then walk up. Nice. So that's now working. There's the people already waiting over here right now. They're now going to get off. Off they skedaddle. Right. Visually, it's a bit weird, but it does work. It does work. So we're now... Oh, there we go. So there's the mass amounts of medium ferries that can carry 280 people. Will now be going up and down. Okay, maybe the speed that they can travel, maybe doing as many as I've done is a bit overkill. But it does line up pretty nice. Not like in that tree there. I will have to wait till, like, you know, people want to actually get over here. Because at the minute, it's the middle of the night. You know what I mean? And I need to make sure that they do work. So, is 6... Was it 6 I put in there or 8? It could be a bit overkill looking at the speed that they do. Let me see how many I put on. I put on 6. Okay, I'm going to change that now to 4. So 2 will have to now disappear. And I just want to double check. I had to wait for the big cargo ship to come through. I want to double check that these ones that I made actually work. Because I don't know if they do or not. Oh, big game lag. But like I said, I've got to wait until everyone wakes up and then wants to go to work. So, it does mean I can then create additional ones, like one going back and forth here. Which wouldn't be too shabby. It still all connects on and goes to where they need to get to. But the idea of a big circular route is also pretty good. That's also pretty good as well. But it is quite a long route, isn't it? Yeah. Right, people will be waking up shortly and then deciding what routes they want to take. No one's really getting off these yet. I like how they have to park up. Like, they have to, like, Tokyo drift it just to get to their destination. But I need to know if it works like that. If not, then it's back to the drawing board. Maybe I can't integrate it the way I was hoping. But yeah, they're pretty quick. I mean, I know I'm speeding up right now, but they're pretty quick, aren't they? Right, I see people walking, but are they walking to the ferries? No. No, no, no. They're mainly walking to jump into their vehicles, aren't they? I just had this sneaky feeling, though, with what I've set up and how I've done these ones, it's just not going to work. That's the suspicion I've currently got. Where's the other one? The other one's over here, right? Oh, the other one's there as well. Oh, I wonder that was there. It's the floating boy. So I'm not seeing anybody utilize them yet. And that's what makes me question maybe these aren't working. That's my theory anyway. So that boat there. It's picked 2 people up. So 2 people are getting off somewhere. This will be the next stop for that boat. Right, here's that stop. Are they getting off here? It's got 2 people on board, though. I want to see where they get off. Still 2. I've got a feeling it's not going to work the way I'm wanting it to work. So these 2 are going to get off over here, which this is the only harbour where they get off directly on. So it makes me question where doing what I've done is not the way to go about it. I think the way that I should have done it is on a key wall. Yeah. That's maybe the way I should have gone about it. So, we move you to here. Actually, I can't now do all of that, can I? So I'm going to have to delete all this. Delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. Right, I'm learning. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Learning what not to do. And then we're going to have to get them to utilize the same stops, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Why is... Okay, it has to be this one now. It doesn't work, right? Is that not over enough? I've got so many shenanigans now going on. I don't know what's real anymore. Right, that's now all back to normal. Apart from this one that is completely broken, though. Why is that one broken? Did it need a minute to update? Well, we're back to normal now, aren't we? So if I now start seeing passengers heading down here, I know that's then what the issue was. But I don't know whether I've missed the boat. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. He is so funny. I don't know whether I've missed the boat on that now. With getting people. But we shall see. Oh, there we go. Or are you going to get into that vehicle? Are you going to trick me right now and just get into that car? No. So I'm going to assume then it's because I created my own. Maybe they're not placed in the right locations, which has caused the issue. So now we're actually seeing people. Yeah, you can see them there walking down the pier. And get in there. Right. Okay, now it works. Right, do you reckon 4 is now a bit overkill? Because they're pretty quick, aren't they? They are pretty quick. Is 4 overkill? I'm not sure. Now, the question is, where else do we send them? Where else do we then send them? So I've got over here set up, nice little loop going back and forth. Beautiful. I could do one from going over here to over there. I could do it... Oh, I could do it in the opposite direction. When it comes down to here and then comes back up again. So that links them up to that line. And then, as far as I'm concerned now, that's all we need to do. So if I went from there... Zoom in, boys. To there. Oh, and then, hang on, hold on. It's got to go into this way. Oh, no, it can't. It has to go right around. Because the way it's kind of set up. I'm thinking, I'm trying to do it like a bus route, but that's not going to work, is it? So I can go from there to there and keep it like super simple. Or I can go down to here. Right, I'm going to go down to here. But I'm going to bring it back up to there. To come out this way. To stop there. And then to there. Now that will make my current back and forth route completely redundant. It really would make it redundant. So I just do a back and forth here to here then. Now how many boats do you want to put on this? We'll only need one. Let's only put one on there anyway. I feel like even 4 here is too much. Like I'm going to reduce it down to 2. I just got that feeling it's a little bit overkill. So back and forth there means all the boat routes are now linked together. But then do you think I should have one that does the whole loop system? Because if you want to go from Derby to now Redwood Port, you hop on the ferry there, change there, and get off there. You know what I mean? But you've also got to think as well, they can also hop on a bus route and then transport around. So maybe we just don't need as many as we think we do. Right, we got traffic issues here? What seems to be the issue? I mean, they're funneling through okay. Maybe I need to make this road a little bit longer, because if there's a couple of cars waiting, it completely slows down everybody, doesn't it? Right, there we go. I should bridge that as well. I mean, that traffic's gone anyway. But that should help us out a bit more. And how are we now looking? So I don't think it's too shabby then. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. But those boats are speedy. They really are speedy. But I don't think they'll utilize the waterways as much as we're assuming they're going to use them, or how much as we want them to use them, because they have other modes of public transport that they can utilize to navigate around. So that, you know, is not going to be their main form, but it's possible if they really want to. A lot of people just got off the boats there. So it does make a lot of sense. Right, let's take a look right now at these wooden leisure things. Now, these are piers that we can bring out, which are nice. We can also run along the side, right? Let me turn the anarchy off there. Oh, not really. I can do a pedestrian path. Narrow key with pedestrian path. It's got like a ribbed shape, right? So if I ran this down, how does it look? Now, if I anarchied this, it doesn't say it, but you get... Ooh. Hold on. Are you telling me right now that I'm able to merge my walkable quay walls? I think you are. I think that's exactly what you're telling me right now. Well, I don't know where to end it, but I'm going to keep that in because I want it to run. a bit more around. I'm only going to do it on this park area. I only want to do it here. And I'm just going to fine-tune the landscaping real quick. Oh, snap. That's way too big. No. Level. Just so we can't see the dirt. Might have gone a little bit too far there. Oh, no. No, 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 no. And then I can then attach onto this with more paths. I'm about to say, how am I ending this bit? But I've just realised how I can end it. And it's actually quite a cool way in which I can do it. I just drop down a wooden pier. Now that fits in with the theme of what we've currently got with the normal piers hanging out. But then more importantly, I can end the key wall directly in them. To get our effect. Ta-da! And then this has just become a big kind of like park area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe place down a couple of paths right now, just like they can just generically walk around. And we've got this as the big outskirts walkable section here. We'll first implement... Oh, snap, hold on. Have I done like... What key wall have I been doing? Have I? No, it's been normally flat, hasn't it? Yeah. I'll first implement coming off this, the straight bits there. Is that the only junction? There's one over here as well, which I'm going to go diagonal on this one. Just coming off there. I'll bring one out along here. And I'll bring one out along there as well. Someone's looking like they're coming to walk down. Wait, hold on. Does the pier provide, like, leisure? If that makes sense? Because they're just coming here right now to hang out. Where's the leisure? Leisure, leisure, leisure. Which one is the leisure button? I forget which one's the leisure button. Oh, I'm having a right nightmare right now. I forget which is leisure. Tourism? Leisure? I think it does. If I'm not mistaken, I think it does, because it's green around the area. Okay, wow, okay, that's interesting. That's real interesting. So, I'm going to bring this initially coming straight first. There we go. And then we will pick a spot here. There we go. We're going to bring this going down. Running that through. And then we'll create another one in the middle here. So I'm going to pick you. So that's almost like a patchwork quilt style, isn't it? Which, you know, it's mainly just to get people to walk through it first. And that's when we'll then start adding all the details. So I would need to get like a bunch of park-related items. That would make sense. So... there we go. I don't know why I'm doing it on the complex curve. I've got no idea why. And then that attaches there. So it looks a bit, you know, boring and plain at the moment. But I'm just laying out the stuff. I'll eventually change and add more curves and bends when we start adding more leisure facilities around here. But it's now ultimately just given a bunch of people a reason to kind of come down this area. I think of my... Wait, does the... Oh, I don't like how it breaks when you attach a path to it. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of it, but it's pretty good though, isn't it? It does look pretty good. I'll take it. I'll take it. So let's do some more expansions around here then with the road, and we'll go back to our bendy wendy roads again. So bend that round. Bend that round. We'll run straight to there. And do I leave a bit of space? I think I will leave a bit of space, right? And we'll go there. And where are we going to be connecting it up, by the way? I could come directly off the road, or I come just off here, where the walkway is set. And we then choose, so I go a little bit more straight to about there. And then we've got all of this area now to work with. So I ultimately could run that in a straight line there. And then we've got all this space that we can now play around with doing zoning. Cutting roads through. So it kind of opens up this whole area in downtown Redwood along the side where we're going to have like low density stuff, more tourism stuff. It's probably where... Did I get rid of those hotels in the end? I think I did, didn't I? Now, if I go... Is it signature buildings? Are they, you know, in here? Yeah, the Sunshine Hotel. This is where we can then start maybe implementing some of this stuff. So, we do have the Perry stuff down there. We've got the Northeastern Inn. So, I can maybe put that down here. And throw... What is this here? Shopping area. Throw you just there. We've got a supermarket a bit too much. The pub. Put the corner pub in. And then we've got... Can I squeeze that one in there? So a couple of pubs throw down. I'm just going to reposition this one. How do I rotate it? Oh, there we go. All right, just on the corner there. So it provides a little bit more leisure facilities. I'm going to probably change that hotel. Maybe a bit. How big's the other one? Okay, it's just as big. So let me just reposition this maybe just there. And then I'm going to throw the other one on the opposite side. And this might feel probably a little bit too big as well. But I'll pull it in, and it's something that we can maybe reevaluate in the future. Delete some of these trees. There we go. I'll place in some of my own trees eventually. So it'll be interesting to see if we get like tourism around these parts now. They're already complaining about not enough customers, but that's where we need to kind of like bulk it up a bit more. We'll place down more signature buildings and whatnot. Now, is there anything that I could maybe benefit from first? Now, you can't put these, unfortunately, on the path. You got to connect them to said road. But if I can connect anything to the path, then that's a bonus, like this here. Now, if that gets awkwardly placed like that, all of a sudden, we've now got something going on in this vicinity. And if I can replace paths as well with this stuff, then that's a huge bonus. So if I could then delete you, and instead put you there. And I might need to delete a bit of that. Go to the paths now. With my old friend, the Anarchy. Oh, what have I done now? I think I completely messed up the wall then, didn't I? It's that pesky bendy wendy tool, isn't it? Always catches me out. That's not the bendy wendy tool. That's the well, it was, but it wasn't the right one. Right, where was I? There we go. And then we run that to connect to there. So we create the node there. And I think that's all that's needed to be able for them to make them physically walk through it. I must delete these extra couple of trees here because I'll add my own in eventually. And then what else we got we can throw in? We've got here the Chirper Adventure Park. So some of this stuff you're not going to be able to really maximize it. The Hedge Park, we already got that one. The Dog Park. I can just squeeze that there as its own thing. And then we've got that's too big. Large City Park. That's actually a pretty good one we can maybe throw in. So if I was to put that there, right, and then delete. I say delete. We can actually reposition. We should be able to reposition if I can grab it. Because it already... to be honest with you, it's already attaching itself. And I'm actually going to change that. I'll redo it anyway. But it does attach itself, which is great. And then we'll come off there. Now this, I'm going to slightly do something a bit different than what I originally had it doing. We're going to come off here. I'm going to bend it up that way. I'm bending like that, so it kind of goes around it, so you're forced to then walk through the whole thing, which will be pretty nice. Right. Maybe one more. Maybe one more we'll throw in. Large plaza, the multi-purpose park. That feels way too big for us now. You got the ruins site, a large playground. See, nice little stuff like that could also be beneficial if we've got it in the right areas. And it becomes a little bit of a tourist hotspot right now. Now, there's so many more things I could place down. So many more things. But this is just the start of that area, bulking it all up. You know, adding some few more bits and bobs in, implementing the trees. And then we've got like a bit of a tourism section. Now, we need to rent the rooms out as well. But we also have to kind of give them a reason to kind of come here. And that's why we're going to need, you know, certain stuff, whether that be landmarks or items that will bring them in. But that's kind of how it's going to work. It's pretty handy. It's near the water crossings, which is where a lot of tourists would love to go. I like how the piers integrate with it, so it hasn't worked out too bad. Not quite sure what's going on over here, though. I can maybe lower you. Maybe I could raise you up a bit as well. But you got to be careful because the whole thing has a nightmare and a panic attack when you try and change anything. But we'll see how it goes anyway. Implementing that with the river crossings should make a huge difference. There's still a lot more I've got to do. Just let me know if I should maybe create a loop by creating like some form of a canal system. Traffic's back though, boys, but now it's coming from the different direction. So we're going to have to make sure we set these up in 4 directions. It should be all good. And I need to sort this out as well. We'll do that next episode too. So for now though, there's a lot for us to think about and a lot for us to get done. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So goodbye.